everyone, and a very happy Monday to you all. I do hope that you had a great week and that your week is getting off to a fantastic start. So it is the 22nd, which does mean that we have a new paint a flower in the store. So we have the paint a flower Himalayan poppy, which we are going to get into. The lovely Roxanne will be behind the badge today, and she'll be popping in all of the links. If you do share this live stream, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Ulta New store. So hello there, everyone that has popped in. Hey there, Avril and Diane, and everyone else that is there. Hi there, Dawn, and Nancy. So what I am going to do is I'm going to move you straight down onto the worktop so we can get a closer look at this fantastic, beautiful paint a flower. So I just need to flip this down. It does take a couple of extra steps to flip my camera over. So there we go. Hopefully we can all see the my tabletop. So I already have the image stamped. We are going to be doing a lot of coloring today. So hey there, Nancy, hey Cece, Dawn, and Samara, and also Lisa, and thank you so much for sharing. Oh, Dawn, I do hope that it goes well. I do hope it goes well. So as you can see in our paint a flower, it is a 4x6 set, and in these sets they have an outline flower, which is normally really quite large, and then some sentiments too. So what I have already done is I have stamped the outline onto a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 white cardstock, and I have used our permanent black. So if you have used this before, it is marker friendly, but I would recommend that you do let this dry completely before you do color onto it. So that's why I've stamped mine already, and I am then ready to go. Hi there, Mary. I do hope that you enjoy this and that you do come back for more. Okay. Hey there, Stacy and Margaret and Strawberry. Hey. Okay. So I have my markers, and if you have checked out the store, you may have found out that something's going on over there. We may have a couple of extra deals for, some kind of event that's happening this week. So if you are in the lookout for some Black Friday deals, maybe go and check out the website as well. So the markers that I have are set A, and because it's a poppy, I felt that the first one that I did at least needed to be red. So I am going to just do a quick coloring of this one here. So normally when you start with markers, you go from the lightest, go up to the darkest, and then back down to the lightest again. But as I am lazy, I do not. I just go in with the darkest. So I have my grapevine here. And before you do start coloring, what I would recommend is that you just practice your flicking action. Okay, I'm just going to grab a piece of cardstock. This is a scrap piece. It's not my good stuff. And all you're going to want to do is just sit and flick. And what you want to get is a really thick, dark bottom where it tapers off to the top. Now, this is going to help you either create kind of flowing lines in your petals, and it also blends easier because you have less ink at this top end than you do at the bottom. So that is really going to help you. Yeah, Avril, me too. Me too. Hello, Christine. So all you're going to want to do is kind of rest it onto the paper and then just flick upwards. And as you flick, you will bring your pen around in kind of a circular motion. And that's what I'm going to recommend, is just sit there and just have a nice old flick. And then you're going to be able to get this kind of look where everything's kind of dark at the bottom and it goes outwards. So then once you have your darkest one in, you can then go with your second darkest. So this one is the ruby red. That one I forgot to say was the grapevine. And I'm just going to start exactly where I did on this level here, but I'm going to go further out. Okay. So I am pressing a little bit harder at that bottom edge and then pulling that out. And as you can see, just by doing that, we have it's darker at the bottom and then it goes lighter at the top. So that is what I'm going to be doing for my petals. So I just wanted to show you that. Hopefully that helps and that makes sense. If not, please let me know and I can go through it again. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the same thing at the base of my petal. When I'm coloring images like this with my markers, I try and think of each petal as kind of a different image within itself. Okay, you don't want to think of the whole image because that might get a tad bit intimidating. Just think of it, we're just going one petal at a time. And as you can see, I've added my dark shade in to the base, and I'm then going to go to the top just to add in a couple of extra flicks there. Now your flicks, you kind of want them more rounded. So I mean, not that rounded, but rounded rather than straight, because that's going to give you the way that the petals curling, the way that you add your shade in, and it's going to look much more natural that way. Okay, so I'm going to add my red in. I'm going to turn that. It's always best to turn your work so you're not kind of being awkward with the way that you are flicking. Okay, so there is that. I'm then going to take the coral berry. Please let me know you guys are out there. Everything's a bit quiet at the minute. You know what? You know I like a bit of a chat. I am sorry if I'm boring you with the basics of marker coloring, but hopefully it does help some of you out there. So I'm going a little bit further in with that color. Just take that one up. And you can see that you can still see the marks in there. It's not blended perfectly. No worries. That's when I'm going to take my frosty pink. That one was the coral berry. And I'm just going to go over that whole petal. And that is just going to blend everything in. If you are coloring, okay, Samara. Okay, thank you. If you may get a bit of bleed through, so you may want to pop it onto some cardstock just so you don't get it coming back up. Strawberry, I promise you it's really not, okay? So I've done this petal. I'm just going to move over here because I think this one's probably an easier one to see. So you can see that we have this petal that's going over this other one. So we're going to need a darker shade behind that one. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my darker shade and I'm going to go straight up there. And at the minute, okay, it looks a bit stark and it looks a bit weird that we have that full line there, but don't worry about it, okay? Just get that shade in first. We can deal with the rest later on. Okay, so again, I'm just going to add some flicked lines from that center radiating outwards, all with a bit of a curl on them. And I'm just going to add a couple more at the top. And that is going to give us the effect or illusion that the petals kind of frilled. Okay, so we have that one in, and then we're going to go with this shade. This is the ruby red. Again, you can see I'm not coloring the whole top of this one. So that is going to give us some really great kind of highlights on it, and it's going to give us that ruffled look. This one kind of looks like it's smooth. This one's going to look different to that one. Okay. So I'm just going to take that out. And as you can see, I'm still not worrying about this line at all. Okay, don't worry about it. Everything will be fine. Hi there, Florine. Hey there, Laura. Oh, Sue, no worries. I'm glad you made it. And I'm going to go in with my coral berry. This one's going to kind of go all the way up that top. But again, because I want those highlights in some of those areas, I'm not going to do it. And because I'm trying to save time, I will not move my work and just change the way I'm flicking it that way. Grab my lightest color, and this is when we're going to blend everything in. Okay, so we're just going straight over. And this is when we're going to kind of concentrate on that dark line that we added. but not too much. We're just kind of blending that out a bit. And then I'll pull that up so you can see that that really has added a really dark shade under the petal, but it's not as stark as it once was. Okay, if you're not happy with the amount of starkness that we have here, because I mean that is quite, I don't know, noticeable, you can grab your lightest color again and just flick over those ones that you're not quite happy with. Okay, not too much because it will blend out, and we're going to add some different stuff on top of this anyway. So yeah, I'm not a lover of the old laundry business. I don't know if you see the little advert that we had over on Instagram in the stories. Yeah, I'm not great, and I don't like that very much. Okay, so I've added my really dark stark line in. That one was with the grapevine even. And then I'm going to add my flicks. You can always take into account the lines that you have in the image itself and kind of follow those. So I'm going to add my stark line over there, add a couple more going that way. Thank you, Laura. We're glad that you found us too. Oh, strawberry, yes. Coral berry has my heart. It really, really does. It's such a pretty pink, and it's not like I don't know, like a baby pink or anything like that. And I forgot to add some dark lines at the top here, so I'm just gonna add those in. And you can see I'm going out the lines a little bit. Oh, Avril! I really do hope that you had a good time with your new package. I hope there's some nice goodies in there. And then, I am sorry, I'm still getting over my cough and cold, and I really want it to disappear, but it doesn't want to let me go, I don't think. So I am sorry for my coughing, everyone. Some people think that you need to kind of color all of the white space in. You don't. You really don't. Just have fun with it, play with it, and it'll work out. It really, really will. And there's always ways to go around, you know, if it doesn't quite work out as well. So this is the Marker A. We also have like a colorless blender that you can get that will help you get rid of any like marks that go outside the lines, which is pretty cool. Oh, Avril, waffles. These poppies are beautiful. Okay, so I think that's like a really light edge there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around where I think my starkest line is going to be. Then we have another petal going over this one. So once I've done that, just flick from that. There we go. I may not finish this one because I do want to do a blue one too, but on a different color cardstock. So, you know, we'll see how. I'm sorry. Ugh. Strawberry, the weather here, I'm going to tell you the truth. I've been out for all of, I don't know, 20 minutes today, and it is just cold. It's not wet today, which makes a big difference, but it is really, really cold out there. But I mean, it's November and it's December next week, so it should be expected, right? Oh, Laura, it is excited waiting for packages. Oh, yes, the Gilded Rose hot foil, that is so pretty. Yeah, I would definitely get your name down on the kind of waiting list. So when you sign up with your email to let you know when it comes in, because I think that one's going to be popular when it does get back in. Okay. Okay. So, I mean, we're getting somewhere now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple of petals at once so we can get through this. I'm just going to do the poppies. These two poppies, I'm going to leave this one for this one here. Okay, so I'm just going around this center, kind of flicking around, adding a couple of extra dark pieces there. Add my stalk line in there because, you know, it's a petal that's going that way. Pull it out. Add a couple to the top. Wondering what's happening here. Okay. Sometimes when I'm even coloring this by myself, I do have a good old chat to myself just to make sure I know what's happening, what's supposed to be petal and what's supposed to be leaf. But sometimes a petal can turn into a leaf and a leaf can turn into a petal, and it's not a bad thing. Laura, yeah. As soon as this cough goes, I am going to be a-okay because I've got rid of the rest of it. The cold has gone. It's just sometimes when I'm, you know, when you keep talking for a little while, it kind of aggravates it. And, you know, when you're doing a live, you can't actually just be silent because that would be really weird. Nancy, yes, we do get snow. Depending on the parts that you're in, depends on, you know, how much snow you get. If you live on the mountains, you get it all the time. But we're not mountain, I would say we're more hill. Okay. As you can see, I'm just trying to kind of rush this so we can get to other things. I might just do this one, leave the other one partially done. Okay, so I'm just gonna blend these ones out. Thank you so much for sharing, everyone. Okay. And even though when you put that harsh line down to start with, you think, oh, that looks awful. But as soon as you've done the other colors in, it kind of just disappears and does just turn it into a shadow. Okay, so I added a really stark line down here and it doesn't even look that bad anymore, you know? It's all blended in, especially when you use this lightest color just all the way over the image. So what I need to do now is just kind of do these petals that are, I believe I should have just colored that in that color. So that's what I'm going to do. And then this one that's curling over, I'm going to flick around. So this has got a really kind of, I don't know, harsh curl to that one that I just did. And I'm just doing at the bottom edge that would be the darkest. This time I'm going to miss out the lightest color and I'm just going to blend out with that color there because that's going to give us more of a shade. And this one is part of that. I should have just added the color on to start with. All right. Okay. So, I mean, okay. We did okay with it. It's not perfect. Drift it, yeah, I should have, but it does take a while. Okay. So there we go. So we have that really pretty flower there, but we don't need to leave it there. I don't know if you guys have seen, but I imagine a couple of you have been over to the website today to have a peek. What's that? Oh, Esther, I hope it's nice. I could do with some prawns. Eek! We have woodless woodless coloring pencils. These are not watercolor pencils. These are just normal coloring pencils. And the box just by itself is pretty. Okay. Strawberry, yes, it's just the Nina Classic Crest Solar White. So we have 32 in here, and these are all the colors that you're going to get. And I'm going to be using the red selection, obviously, because I'm doing a poppy. So I'm just going to take out my red tray. It's not technically red, but hey. Yep. It's so pretty. Just look at that rainbow. It makes my heart happy. So I'm going to grab my darkest one. And this is the ruby red. So it kind of, you know, it matches one of the colors that we've used. And I'm just going to add some flicks to the bottom, that petal there. Now, you may not think that this is doing that much, but it really, really is. It's really adding such great depth to the image. We could even use a different color to add the shading in. We could add, these are brown if we wanted to add more of a darker shade to that base. So what I'll do is I'll use brown on this one first. So you can layer these colors up a little. I'm going to add a couple of those little swishy lines. I'm going to move you guys down a little bit. Hopefully that will help. Tell me if it goes too fuzzy. Okay. Hopefully we're good there. Okay, so I'm going to start on a different petal so you can actually see what's happening. So this petal up here, I'm going to take a brown. So this is the paper bag. So technically, you know, shouldn't really go with the red, but you're adding shading, so it doesn't need to be the exact color. Okay, so I'm adding some paper bag lines in there. And to add the kind of petally frills, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a couple of little flicks from the edge. Okay. They don't look like much. They really don't. And they probably won't look like much when you're really close to it either. But when you pull away, you know, how you would normally look at a card, it's really going to add such great detail to your images. Just look how cool that is. So add in my really dark shade with my brown paper bag from the woodless pencils, and then the ruby red. Pull that color out, kind of following the lines on the image itself. Add a couple of extra in. And if you wanted to, you can even work down the colors. So I have more of a pinky color. I have more of a heartbeat here. That will work. If you actually look at a like flower, you can see that there's many different tones in the same one. So you can really mix up your pencils and your colors. Oh, Roberta, I promise you it's really not that hard. I think all it is a little bit of practice, and I think you'll be away. So I'm going to add it in the dark shade to this one here. And I think if you watch some of the videos from Erin, you'll be hooked on coloring because she is amazing. I've got nothing on Erin. Okay. Really pull that color out along those lines. It's going to give you a look of a kind of not a frill, but a crease in the petal there. Pull some out from there too. there you go. Yep, Laura, these are the new just coloring pencils, which are fabulous. Okay, so I've had enough of red now, and I feel like I need to play with different colors. So what I'm going to do is, we're not going to finish it, but that's fine. You can see just how pretty you can make your images on white cardstock. But I did want to try out some colored cardstock as well. So I have the parchment cardstock from Altenew. Now this is like a kraft cardstock. So yes, and I want a kind of a no line coloring effect for this one. Now, normally if I was sat here and I was coloring by myself, I would definitely go with the vanilla cream to stamp the image. But I do want you guys, I do want you guys to see the image. So I'm going to go with the hazelnut because this is going to be easier for you guys to see. Normally, like I said, I would go for the vanilla cream if I was doing a no line coloring effect. But just so you guys can see, I'm going to go with the hazelnut. Okay. And what I'm going to do to cheat a little bit more is I'm not going to use the whole image. I know. Sometimes I'm quite lazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp my image right on the edge there. So I don't have to do that much. Okay. And give that a good press down. It is a large image, so you will need a large block for this or even a stamp positioning tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that there for a sec, and I just wanted to show you that you can do it with the vanilla because that's quite crisp for you guys. So I thought if I just show you what the vanilla would look like, and it will dry lighter. I'll just stamp up here too. You can see that it is quite light, and it will dry a lot lighter than that. So when you have colored with it, the lines kind of vanish. So I've used the vanilla cream for this one up here, and I've used the hazelnut for the one that we are going to be working with now. So I'll just leave those there. Okay. So I'm going to move those ones out. And we do have some very pretty blues in this collection. Oh, how could I not do this without blues? So I'm going to go with some teal. Okay. And I am going to leave some of the craft area, I think. So I'm not going to worry too much. Okay, so I'm going to take my teal and I'm just going to add some flicking motion. The same kind of flicking motion that I would use with the markers, but it's just, I've gone in less. Okay. I mean, you can't get the exact kind of flicking motion this way with pencils than you would with the markers because they are thicker. I'll pull that out a bit more. I'm going to go under there. So again, giving myself a harsh line. Okay, so that was the teal. I'm going to move down to the galactic stream. Oops. And I'm going to go over those lines that we've just done, but taking those out, or in, sorry, further. Now I'm feeling that teal color that I just used is maybe a bit light as I have this color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Desert Night just to add some really dark shading to where I tried to put that teal. There are plenty, oops, sorry, dog hair, plenty of colouring videos that we have on the Altenew YouTube page or channel, that you will be able to get tons of ideas, tips and techniques with using the pencils. But as we release these today, I've got a feeling there is going to be lots and lots more of those videos. Oh, Barbara, yay! I'm so glad you did. And you're going to be glad you did too. I've got a feeling you're going to have so much fun with them. So that one was the volcano lake, and this is the dewdrops. And you can see that those do blend in. You just need to like colour over. And we also have a white in here. So you can use this for all different techniques. You can use this on vellum. It looks really, really cool on vellum. Maybe I should see if I could find some vellum, or I'll do vellum next time. But we do have a white. So I'm just going to use this like I used my lightest color with my markers before, and I'm using this to blend all of those colors together. And you can see that I'm just doing kind of a curved motion the way that I want that petal to go. I always kind of use my fingers as well to blend. I find that works really well. Yay! Look how cool. Oh, Kathy, I hope you're good though. Right, so I'm going to do this one here because this is the same petal as that one. So you can see that you're going to get kind of the same look, but you will be able to see the outline on this one slightly. This one, not so much. Okay, so I'm going to do the same petal as I did from up there. So this is the Desert Night again. Add that color in. I'm going to add my stalk line, so that means going under a petal if it's has one overlying it. And to create those ruffles, we are going to add some little flicks of points along the edge there. Looks a bit strange at the minute, okay? You know, it just does. I'm then going to go in with the teal. I didn't use this one very much. I might just miss out that one because, you know, kind of lazy. So this one's the Galactic Stream. Pulling in, I am following the lines. I don't know if you can see them that well. And like I said, I would definitely keep turning your work with the way that you're comfortable. But, you know, as we're live, I am just going to keep it as it is. Try and keep it nice and straight. Okay, Nancy, I use a knife, if you know what I mean, like a blade to kind of pull it to a sharp point rather than use a sharpener. That way you're not going to get rid of too much of the pencil itself. Also, what you can do is to try and keep a sharp point on it, is you can rub it on a piece and it will kind of file itself down that way. But I would definitely just play around with what works best for you. I find that a blade is the way that I go. So this one is the Volcano Lake. I don't know if I went in further enough. And my dewdrops. Again, I am leaving some white mark. White, well, they're not white, are they? They're, what do you call it? Kraft looking. But then I'm going to take my white pencil, and this is what is going to do my blending. Okay, so I'm going to just give myself that curve of that petal as it goes around. And there we go. And a petal on its own may look quite strange, but when you start building this up, the flower is just going to come to life. So you can see that over here, I may have added, more dark colors, but I think that's really, really pretty. It's kind of like a cosmos petal, and you've got the dark edges and the white in the center. But you can see that you will be able to see a slight stamped image with the hazelnut, but with the vanilla cream, you're not going to get anything at all. Yep, Laura, I'm with you. I'm all for those blues. Yep, strawberry. Definitely have a play with it. And these pencils are so fabulous to play with. Okay, I'm going to do this petal here before we finish today. So I'm just going to go over again. So I'm going to go around, giving myself that stark edge where the petal overlaps this one. We have another petal overlapping, so I will do the same this side. I know it looks a bit weird in a minute. And then I'm going to add my really dark shading. Now, if you're not really that confident by where you think the shading would be, always go for the base and then just a couple of points at the tips. Now, also what you can do is you can see if you can find a flower similar, either online or an Altenew stamp set may have a image that's similar, and then you can see where they've added the layers. So like the coloring layers, that might be another way to kind of have a play, work out where they've used their layers and their darkness, and then you can have a play that way. So that one was the Galactic Stream. I've got a feeling that these colors that I'm using now will be the ones that I run out of first. Yep. And this one is the Volcano Lake. And then I'm going to go with the Dewdrops. Thank you, Maureen. Bringing that color out further on like the little frills that we've added and at the base. And then, see, at this point, I think it doesn't really look a lot. But as soon as you get this white pencil in, I am going to twist this because I do find that doing it this way helps me. That this white pencil is it, it's what makes this. So adding that simple, curved coloring from the tips to the base, mixing those colors together, making them like kind of flow together a little bit is what really does make that petal come together. There. Nancy, I'm not sure. Okay, so I am sorry about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in the one that I did with the reds. So both the Painted Flower Himalayan Poppy. This one I colored with the red Cosmos markers, so you can buy them in a set of 4, and you could also get them in set A, which has a blue set in there and also a green set. And then I went over with the red pencils from the pencil set that I've just been using, and then this one I went in with blues over some beautiful parchment cardstock and used some really light neutral inks so we can get that no line coloring effect there. Thank you, Laura. Serena, I'm not sure. I think, that's maybe one that we need to pop towards the team, that question, because, yeah, that white pencil, I can see that getting some use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you guys up again so I can say goodbye. Hi. Fancy seeing you lot here. Okay. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining me today. I really do hope that you enjoyed the colouring and I didn't bore you too much. I always find that it is nice to go back to basics sometimes. I don't normally do that, but I thought that as we did have those new pencils, we definitely needed to go into a little bit, more involved with this one. And I hope that it kept you a little bit intrigued and that you did enjoy it. So, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you to the lovely Roxy for popping in those links when I did mention the products. And oh, thank you, Kathy. And thank you guys for just being here. I truly hope that you have a great rest of your week and that you do have something nice planned too. So I will see you again very, very shortly. And I hope that you have an amazing week. See you again soon. Bye-bye.